You're eating less calories, you're working out more, and suddenly the scale stops moving down when at first it was dropping very quickly. But now, nothing. And the worst part is you're probably going to tell yourself you need to restrict your calories even more, you need to do more cardio. But what if I told you that's the exact thing that's keeping you stuck? My name is Caitlin Vernon. I'm a registered nurse and fitness and nutrition coach, and I help women build lean muscle and lose body fat without living in the gym. And in this video, I'm going to break down why your fat loss has stalled, even in a calorie deficit, and what you need to do to start seeing progress again. This is what I see all the time with my current clients who came to me feeling stuck. They've been restricting their calories, they've been eating the right foods, eating healthy, strength training 3 to 4 days in the gym, and suddenly they stop seeing progress. At first it works, but then the next couple of weeks you suddenly step on the scale and you notice that the number stopped moving, your hunger goes up, your energy drops, your workouts feel harder, and suddenly you just feel so exhausted and it's harder to stay consistent. So what do most women do? They double down. They start restricting their calories even more and they start doing more workouts in the gym. And then you're going to end up telling yourself, I just need to be more disciplined, and then things are going to go in the wrong direction and you're going to spiral out of control. But here's where most women get confused. They expect the same rate of fat loss weeks and months into their journey, and that's not how the human body works. So let's dive into exactly what's happening when you hit this phase. This is a concept called metabolic adaptation. This is when you enter a specific fat loss phase, and over time, your body is going to adjust and adapt to that energy deficit. So what was once your calorie deficit is now technically your new calorie maintenance, because your body has now adapted to that. And it's part of the reason why your weight loss has plateaued. It's just your body's way of protecting yourself. Because when you start eating less, your body isn't just going to tell yourself, okay, we're going to keep losing fat at this rate forever. What's going to happen is it adjusts, and it does this in a few different ways. So the first way is now you burn fewer calories at rest, also known as your resting metabolic rate. Your metabolism slightly slows down during this phase because your body is trying to survive on less energy, and you also have to keep in mind you now also weigh less, so your body doesn't have to burn through as much energy to maintain normal bodily functions. And the second way is you subconsciously start to move less, so you might fidget less at your desk, you might sit more during the day, and the desire or the will to get up and go for a walk starts to feel harder than it did before. So your NEAT starts to decrease, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So this is just energy and calories burned outside of planned exercise. And this happens without you realizing it, and this can affect your daily caloric burn by a lot. And the third way is your workout starts to feel harder, especially if you're on a strict diet and you're limiting your carb intake. So your performance in the gym is going to drop. You might notice that it's harder or it takes longer to build muscle, and getting your heart rate up or doing any form of cardio just feels exhausting. So this means fewer calories burned during your sessions. Now the fourth way is your hunger is going to increase through your hormones ghrelin and leptin. So ghrelin is a hormone that's responsible for letting you know that you're hungry, it's time to eat. Now leptin does the opposite. While you're eating, leptin is going to send that signal to your brain that you're full, stop eating. So ghrelin tends to increase because you're in a constant state of a calorie deficit, and leptin tends to decrease because you now have body fat, and the hormone leptin is secreted through fat cells. So it's a biological response in an attempt to make you feel more hungry so that your body can protect itself. So think of a calorie deficit. You staying in that too long or being in it too deep of a calorie deficit is a threat to your body. So now you're eating less, you're burning less, and you're feeling hungrier. That's metabolic adaptation, and it's a completely normal biological response. And I always like to say the human body does an amazing job at adapting. So here's exactly why you stop losing weight. So let's say in the beginning of your fat loss journey, you were eating 1,800 calories, and that's your calorie deficit. So what's going to happen is you're going to start dropping body fat, your clothes are going to fit better, you're going to feel better about yourself, you're going to love what you see in the mirror, and then suddenly the scale just stops. Same calories, same workouts, same habits, same routine, but nothing changes. And this is the phase where most women think, I have a slow metabolism, I need to cut my calories lower, or maybe I just need to accept that this is the current progress that I'm only going to get. So like I mentioned before, your body is going to adapt. That 1,800 calories that was your calorie deficit over weeks and months is now going to become your new maintenance, which means you're no longer going to be in a calorie deficit. If you continue to do the same things that got you there, the scale is going to stop moving. And this is where most women think that their plan isn't working anymore. And that's not the case. It's just the fact that your brain and your body caught up to that plan. So if you ever felt like you were doing something right finally, and then suddenly it just stops working, you're not crazy, you're not doing anything wrong. wrong. It's just that your body has caught up. It's a completely normal part of your fat loss progress. And the worst thing you can do during this phase is slash your calories even more, try to do more workouts, and try to restrict yourself even more. And for a short period of time, it might work. You might drop a little bit of fat again, and you might see the scale go down slightly, but then the same process is going to continue where you plateau, and you can only restrict yourself so much. Because more cardio doesn't always mean more fat loss, especially when that cardio is high intensity and you're getting your heart rate up to a point where your body has to now use your stored carbs for energy and for fuel for that session. So what's going to happen is you're going to feel more hungry than you typically were before. And when you're in a calorie deficit, hunger will always win. So more cardio or more intense cardio isn't always the answer. So now let's talk about the biggest mistakes that women make during this fat loss phase. When you keep stacking HIIT and intense workouts and longer gym sessions, yes, you are going to be burning more calories, but you're also going to be increasing your stress. And your body doesn't know the difference between stress from work, stress from sleep, or just stress from life. It all gets registered in the same place, stress. So now what's going to happen is your recovery might take a hit, your sleep is probably going to suffer, and your hunger is going to be all over the place. You might be telling yourself, I'm doing more than ever, why am I not seeing more results? In fact, for a lot of women, those who are working busy, hectic, chaotic schedules, who are working long shifts back to back, 12 hours, 14 hours, that can actually slow things down because your body is going to try to protect you and it's going to try to hold on to any more energy that it barely has left. So instead of continuing to pile on more intensity, here's how we're going to fix it. So what you have to learn to do, this part is a non-negotiable, is you need to adjust, but adjust strategically. So here's the system. So number one is stop immediately cutting your calories. You're already at your calorie maintenance, so cutting down your calories even more is going to make you feel more hungry, more exhausted, and less likely to stay disciplined to the plan. And number two is you might need to reverse diet. So all this means is slightly increasing your calories from your new maintenance. So you need to be strategic about this. For example, slightly increasing it to around 200 to 250 calories each day. So this can look like adding on an extra serving of chicken thighs to your meals or adding on a banana and a couple of rice cakes, especially before your training sessions. Now, I know reverse dieting and slightly increasing your calories might freak some women out, especially if their goal is fat loss, but doing this phase can actually help with compliance with your diet plan because your hunger is going to be more stabilized, your mood is going to improve, you're going to feel more energized, and your hunger hormones are going to feel more stabilized because you can't fight your body's normal biological response. Now, this is an important step because you want to be careful on how quickly you increase your calories and by how much. Because remember, your previous calorie deficit is now your calorie maintenance since your body has adapted. But you don't want to just shoot right up in terms of calories right away. Because if you suddenly increase by 300 or 400 calories, you're more than likely going to push yourself into a large surplus, and then it's going to lead to unnecessary fat gain. So what you want to do is gradually increase calories, small and controlled increases, so that your metabolism can adjust upward while minimizing fat gain. Now, the third way is carb timing for performance. Now, I know carbs get a bad rep when it comes to weight loss and fat loss because a lot of women think that carbs make you fat, but it's actually your body's primary fuel source. Now, when you reverse diet, you want to make majority of those calories coming from high quality carb sources. So think potatoes, sweet potatoes, fruit, oats, brown rice. Ideally, what you want to tell yourself is, how can I improve my performance in the gym so that I can maximize building muscle? Because I now know that building muscle is going to help me burn more fat in the long run, especially during this reverse diet phase. Because muscle is more metabolically active, meaning you're burning through more energies and more calories at rest just to maintain it compared to having more body fat. So this is where carb timing is going to come into play. So when you slightly increase your calories and make majority of that coming from carbs, you ideally want it to be fast digesting carbs, but at the same time, high quality fast digesting carbs. So don't eat a cake, don't eat donuts, don't eat chips. Aim for rice cakes, aim for banana, or aim for fruit that are lower in fiber. Now, I say this because you want fast, quick energy during your training sessions so that you can have a high output while you're in the gym. Fruits and food that are higher in fiber is going to slow down that digestion, but we want fast, quick energy. Carb timing is important during this phase because you want to be focusing less on the number on the scale and more on how can I get stronger in the gym so that I can build more muscle. Because once you start to shift your focus to that, fat loss starts to happen without you starving yourself. Now, number 4 is I want you to check your consistency and your accuracy. If you're not tracking your calories after you've noticed you hit a fat loss plateau, that's okay, but you need to make sure that your awareness is in check. So sometimes reverting back to the basics of tracking your food and tracking your calories in order to help bring back that awareness to where the sources of your calories are coming from is actually a great step. Extra calories from excess oil from when you cook your lunch, or butter when you're cooking your eggs for breakfast, or even you grabbing a handful of nuts and seeds between each meals because you felt like having a snack can easily add up to 300 or 400 calories each day. And that right there is a difference between you staying in your maintenance or even being in a calorie surplus. So before you assume that your metabolism is the issue, check your habits and dial everything back, because those small extra things add up quick and they matter more than you think. Now, number 5 is we need to prioritize strength training over any other form of activity. This is by far the best way to improve your metabolism during a fat loss phase because, like I mentioned before, more muscle, you're going to be burning through more calories and energy at rest. So instead of telling yourself, how can I burn more calories? Start telling yourself, how can I build more muscle? Not to mention that muscle is more dense than body fat, meaning it takes up less space if we had the same amount of weight for both tissues. So that's why two women who weigh the same but look completely different, the first woman who has more muscle and less body fat is going to look smaller compared to the second woman who has less muscle and more body fat. Because building muscle is what's going to give your body shape, it's going to give you definition, and it's going to give you that nice toned look that you always wanted to achieve. We need a solid foundation of muscle underneath in order to achieve that toned look. The same way you build a foundation before you start building a house, the same applies. So now with strength training, you want to be focusing on progressive overload, training close to failure, and being intentional with your lifts. So with progressive overload, this means increasing the reps, increasing the weight, adding more sets, improving your form, or even slowing down the tempo over time. Now, when it comes to training to failure, you ideally only need to be 1 to 2 reps from failure. But I always like to tell women that there are times where you should be getting to complete failure, because if you've never gotten to complete failure, then how do you know what 1 to 2 reps from failure even is? So if there are any moments where you change up your workouts, you might change up your routine, you should be getting to failure to use that as information and bring you that awareness to know that you're close to it. Now, every set doesn't need to be to complete failure, but you should be generally close. Now, with being intentional with your lifts, what this means is don't just go through the motions. Make every rep count and make every set count, because this is what's going to drive new muscle growth. Unfortunately, during this phase, simply just showing up isn't enough anymore. Now, with cardio specifically, you can still incorporate that into your routine, but it should support your routine and support your plan, not replace strength training. Now, what you actually need is a smarter approach to fat loss, one that still helps you lose fat, but doesn't drive your energy to the ground. The type of cardio that works long term and that a lot of women tend to overlook is zone 2 cardio, and you can easily get into zone 2 cardio by simply just walking. You walk around your house, you walk around your hallway, you walk to the park or even to the grocery store, and that can get your heart rate up to ideally zone 2. Now, this zone can be better sometimes than intense cardio because it shifts your body to using more fat for fuel instead of more carbs for fuel. So when your body burns through that carbs and that excess glycogen, you're going to feel hungrier after. But in the end, overall calorie intake does still matter. Implementing these strategies is going to be the difference between someone who stays stuck and someone who actually transforms their body long term. Because when you understand this phase, you stop reacting out of frustration and you start making intentional adjustments. And that's what allows you to keep seeing progress instead of telling yourself that you need to do more cardio and eat less food and restrict yourself even more. Most women don't struggle because they're not working hard enough or because they lack discipline. They struggle because they don't know how to make these strategic adjustments when things stop working. And when you don't understand this phase, you're going to keep repeating the cycle over and over, and all it's going to do is leave you feeling frustrated and stuck. So if you're at that point right now where you're stuck with the scale not moving and you're not satisfied with your current rate of fat loss, or maybe you just don't know what to adjust next, I want you to book a Zoom call with me where I can walk you through my entire one-on-one coaching process so that you can put an end to the constant yo-yo dieting. I also put together a video that I'm going to attach to this video that's going to walk you through how to build muscle and lose body fat. Book a call with me down below, and I'll see you in the next one.